Even with the best plans, like I like a plan, like I like an Excel spreadsheet, I like it all thought through.
Oh, you do.
But even when you go through all that, sometimes things just don't go according to plan and it's totally out of your control. And that has been kind of our journey right now.
Absolutely.
There's been so many different things. We've got to figure out the Mac. What are you gonna drive to get groceries? Sheila, how are you guys gonna get around town? Well, we have a lot to cover, a lot to catch you up on. And so let's just jump into that and do that for them today.
All right, I can do that.
Can you?
Uh-huh.
It's always part of the plan.
It's time for a change. You can't grow by staying the same. It's our contribution for this revolution, building community. It's just one step closer to where we're meant to be. It's not just a way of life, it's a family.
Be like, oh, I wish we could have went bigger.
39 inches is all we have. Like, there's no moving anything on the truck.
It looks the exact same as when we left it.
We have no clue if this is even going to come together.
The Wyatt test? Wyatt has a test? What are we doing?
A lot of people are approaching it from a checker's perspective, but we're living in a chess world.
After our initial visit with Jesse, a few weeks have now gone by, right? We talked to him, we kind of gave him the game plan, we gave him the truck, and we're kind of texting back and forth and we're doing all that. And then we had a meeting at Spacecraft. And we're sitting at Spacecraft and he was texting and asking questions and things are just a little bit of a mess. And due to the box that Jesse was making for the motorcycle and trying to fit the kayaks in and trying to fit the bicycles in, he said we were trying to shove like 10 pounds of crap into a 5-pound bag, I think was his.
Pretty sure that's how he said it.
A little more expletives in there.
But I think that's how he phrased it.
But little did we know that this talk that we were getting ready to have was going to have some pretty good implications in the future. Okay, we're on speakerphone.
Good.
So the question comes into play is you're asking if the pin can be moved forward due to the turning radius on the HDT.
It's on HDT in the box.
How much?
Well,
So,
how much? Wyatt just asked how much.
where is the pin set from the face of the trailer right now? 48?
36.
36.
Or
But
could you bring that to 24? I'm asking.
can you bring it to 24?
How about 32?
12 inches you go.
Wyatt says 32. Greg says 26. It sounds like we're negotiating.
We are negotiating. So, there's two things going on here. I'm wanting to gain some room for the back of the truck. I'm trying to extend the rear of the truck a little bit to make it look like normal HDT, okay? Right now, where I'm gonna set the pin to the rear is 40 inches. That's just the normal truck.
So if we moved it to 28,
28, and what's that gonna give us from the pin to the wall? Up underneath.
well, I don't know, because I was going to make it bigger.
The other
See, if we're going to move the pin forward, we can make the possum belly bigger.
the other thing to think about is
More storage.
the LED wall is going to be how thick?
Mhm.
The LED wall with the structure is going to be 8 inches, so we're adding 8 inches to the front of the trailer.
You sure?
It's fine. We got it.
Okay, because 39 inches is all we have. Like, there's no moving anything on the truck at all.
I don't have the real estate up there
Okay.
where we're having to set the pin.
But he's worried about the box on the back of the truck.
Yep. Well, because we're adding the box.
So the LED screen on the front of the trailer, Jesse's going to add 8 inches.
The normal.
I've already decided that I'm gonna stretch the wheelbase 2 foot. I've already decided that. I don't have the real estate.
Now, we don't really have a lot of knowledge when it comes to customizing an HDT, and that's a heavy-duty truck, or other people would call a tractor, or other people would call a semi, or a Mac. But Jesse does. So he's done this. And Jesse simply said we needed to trust him. That's all he kept saying. There was nothing written down. There was nothing, like, we had hand drawings on occasion, but we didn't really know what he had planned. And about 2 days after having some conversations, he sent this wonderful, silly video as a haha. I didn't know how funny it was at the moment.
What was the funny ha-ha?
He goes, Houston, we've got a problem. Remember, he cut the truck.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh, Houston, we have a problem. It's not one truck anymore.
Okay, so Jesse has this amazing attitude when it comes to the build. And he did. He told us just to trust him. And we just told him what we wanted to accomplish. And he asked all the right questions.
He did.
He asked the questions that he needed to be asking because this is what he does, right? Like he knew, like, I don't know from the distance from the pin to this or the corner to that and all the front and the turning. I'm like, I have no idea. But when somebody knows their craft, when they know their trade, he's just a dependable guy. He knows what he's talking about. He worked long hours just trying to get this accomplished for us. He has a great attitude for
there was
it.
Text messages, like probably almost 11 o'clock midnight sometimes, that he would send us, and they were in there working.
Yes, and he loves it. He loves what he does.
Jesse Hall at Hall Haulers. We're here late night again trying to get this truck done. So here's where we are right now. We have changed the wheelbase on the truck, 22 inches to stretch it out to get enough room for the trailer, for the box that we're creating, for the motorcycle, 2 electric bikes, and also the 2 kayaks that are going up in here.
So when you find somebody like that, you're like, okay, we're just gonna trust him because he knows what he's doing and he has a vision in his head of how he's gonna get that accomplished. We're just totally blown away that our paths even connected and that we found him.
Very unique.
And then seeing what he was capable of, we just decided to fly down and pop in and take a look. And so we did.
Well, that was an interesting thing because we didn't really know what to expect.
I don't even remember flying down there.
So much that's happening. It is happening all at once.
Yeah.
It literally is happening. Like while we're doing that, we have to fly back from there to go to the next huddle.
No.
Where was that? I don't even know where we were.
Exactly.
Now Jesse does know we're coming, right?
Well, I texted him.
The surprise visit. This was, in fact, a last-minute visit to Jesse's place down in Florida. We needed to go down there to gain insight on what was happening in the build process of the HDT, as well as seeing how the truck was coming along after being completely cut in half and made longer by about 22 inches. What we also saw firsthand was something we already knew to be true, and it was this. Once things are cut, there is no going back.
Oh my gosh.
What are you seeing? I don't know what you're seeing. Did he do something we shouldn't have?
He cut off. He completely cut this off. He cut this down.
Oh yeah, look at that. You can tell that that's been, so it's not as wide. Are the bikes still gonna fit on here?
I don't know how.
Well, because that just looks like just enough room for the motorcycle. Where's he putting the bikes then?
Jesse isn't here. So here's the other thing. Most of the time the fuel tanks are, one's 125 gallons and one's 100 gallons.
Sorry.
Oh boy. What is going?
What are y'all doing?
What is going on?
What are y'all doing?
Jesse, you cut that down.
Yeah.
Yes, we did. Well, y'all keep calling me with different measurements. I mean, what am I supposed to do? I only grow the truck one time. I don't grow it 2 or 3.
So when we had the issue with the extra 3 inches.
Yeah, that took away 5 here.
Oh my gosh. Well.
So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
Then where's the bikes gonna go if we lost those inches there?
Well, we're hoping we got to go get the bike and the bikes, and we got to stack them over there. We're about to make a trip over there probably. So we're gonna stack them, and I need to get some measurements.
Stack them where?
Stack them together to where we can seal and measure. I'm building something that I've never even seen the product that's going on it.
I know.
We need to go down there.
I think the bike.
And then the canoes, or not the canoes, but the kayaks are going there. I need to take some measurements on them or bring one back. Go ahead.
I think the bikes and the motorcycle won't fit. No.
No. Okay, we'll hang them.
We'll hang them. I'm trying to process. Like, okay.
Yeah, we
I'm
gotta
good
go.
at
We
adapting.
gotta go down to the storage.
But how? What's this?
then-
What's this distance now?
40. It was 52, 5 inches. Let me get my papers. Hold on.
Here's what happened. Yeah. Spacecraft told us originally 28 inches plus 8 inches for the wall. That's 36 inches. Then they didn't take into account the 3 inches. And when you have the turning radius of the whole thing, this has to be able to fit. So what do you think we're going to be at?
So naturally riding, your trailer will be set about where a cardboard is right here. That's where the front of your wall will be.
Okay.
Your LED wall.
That's the front of the LED wall.
That's the front of the LED wall.
you wouldn't have stretched it?
We wouldn't have fit none of it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he knows more than you do.
We just couldn't have fit it. It just wasn't going. Y'all wanted to keep it short, so I didn't go stupid. I mean, normally when we stretch, we go 60 inches or 70 inches, and we gain a lot.
Hey Todd, do you notice anything else different? There's something else missing over there. See that? There's some cut marks.
What cut mark?
Look, this used to be bigger.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's all gone. Wow. So you've utilized every aspect of
I took every inch I can take.
The time spent with Jesse at his shop was more revealing than we were ready for. While it was scary to see our brand new truck being hacked up and cut apart, Jesse is a master of his craft and his team is perfectly suited for the job. We were grateful that he took the time to walk around our truck and give explanations to all of the questions we had.
But, Jesse,
Yes.
what is this?
What is what?
This is my...
This is some of your exhaust.
My exhaust is gone.
Yeah, your exhaust is gone too.
It used to be a thing.
Ah, John, would y'all quit coming by? Especially on surprise visits.
You cut the fuel... You cut the fuel tank? You cut the tank and then just re-welded
Yeah,
it?
just cut tank rewelded.
Can you tell me what you cut there, Jesse? Like, there's...
Well,
we have a
hung out
hole.
8 inches.
So what was it?
What was it?
It was for a satellite. When a company would own these trucks, they would have a round satellite up top.
So we didn't need it.
You didn't need that. You ain't running no satellite on this truck. Anyways, so that'll all get cleaned up and dressed up when all this comes off and capped back off.
However, this day was not about answering our questions. It was about answering all of Jesse's questions as well. Remember that storage unit from episode 3? Well, we had to run there with Jesse in order to get the exact measurements of the bikes and the kayaks. Because of all the designs that he had put into place, we had to make sure that they would all fit in the build.
Well, I can pull the motorcycle up.
Right. Well, then I'll have to move the bike over.
Yep.
So you want to move my bike?
You're being premature on your measure.
You was like?
Okay.
Okay.
I got this
you got
one.
that one?
Give me that camera.
It's on.
Okay. We got that. Now, let's see what we got.
Keep going. Your way a little bit. Right there.
That's 53 inches.
Didn't you say we had?
52? Didn't we?
I don't know, but you know the
I
number
want to
now.
say it was 52.
But here's the other
Look at
thing.
me engaging my filter.
I seen you. I mean, I think once the pedals are folded in, I think we'll manage, don't y'all?
I don't know.
I don't know.
We're within an inch.
Every
half inch matters.
Jesse, what was that number you said we had over there when we put those bikes side by side? What was it? 52. Was it 52?
52.
We have an inch to spare.
When we left Jesse's that day, we were super confident that he was going to do what we were planning. I didn't have any idea at that time how he was going to do the kayaks. I did not realize there was going to be a big box on the back, and the kayaks, the bikes, and the motorcycle were going to be out of the elements.
See if your brain's thinking correctly.
See that?
Yep.
So it'll sit down in there, it'll have a strap to go around it. That'll be a box down there that it sits in.
Okay.
Do you want a bigger one?
No, I'm good.
You like this one?
Yeah, but then so how you think Todd's will be fine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, looking at that, Todd will be fine.
Which was fabulous. And then he was talking about how the drawer was going to move out. All the things. It was.
Well, a lot of these things were just his ideas. Like he just said, "Hey, you need some storage. Let me see where I can pull some storage for."
Now, the real question comes into play is, will he pull it together for the Tampa show? Because now we are up against it. He's like, how much more time do we have and stuff. So he's starting to panic a little bit because he knew how much was left to do. And that was a little bit stressful, but only time would tell. Like we were just hoping. The question is when do you think you will be
done?
Christmas?
I'm
before Christmas or after?
I'm hoping a week before Christmas.
So what would
happen? That's about 6 weeks.
What would happen then is I would fly down, and it's only 4 weeks, Jesse.
4 weeks. Quick. Yeah, okay.
But
cut my time
I'm
short.
just saying.
Time's flying when you're having fun.
That was one thing happening while the spacecraft was being built, and we were dealing with all that. So every few days we receive some sort of a text message or some random picture or video he was sending us.
Right, we're looking at this picture going, what is that? Like, what is he doing? All I know is it is, again, a lot of welding. Welding.
A lot of welding. The
metal
trades of
everywhere.
welding are fabulous.
Yeah, metal everywhere. If you know how to weld, I think you can pretty much build whatever you want to build. But then we realized we have another issue.
Yes. It's just a hurdle, really.
Oh yeah, it's a hurdle. We weren't planning on building the Mac to put a smart car on or put a Jeep on. We didn't plan on building the spacecraft to put a car in the back. Like, that's valuable space that we could use for living. I mean, this is our home, so I didn't want to take up that space with trying to figure out a garage element.
I think we were really worried about going too much longer. I mean, we're so long that if the minute you start extending a lot, then we're already worried about how we're going to get into places. But if you put like a Jeep on the back or something,
we could have ate into the kitchen and living space, but that is that's where we spend the majority of our time. Yeah. This is our full-time home, so that wasn't going to be an option. So if you've been following our channel for very long, you know that I've always thought that I would end up getting a Jeep. I just love the way Jeeps look. I love the off-roading capacity of that. Like, it just opens up some opportunities, and you know I love options and opportunities. So, however, if you remember back, we went to the Chicago Auto Show, our first year out. We were able to go to the auto show.
You were so excited.
I love going to auto shows, and let me just tell you a little bit of why. My dad, and he loved cars, and so I grew up going to like those old, we used to have rod runs or like classic car shows. We'd do poker runs. So I spent a lot of time, washing and waxing and cleaning and detailing and looking at, when you're, 9, 10 to 15, 16 years old and you're going around and seeing these things, you start to just admire the beauty of the lines and cars. And so we were going to the auto show, and
you were dead set. I knew exactly what I was going to do.
Yeah, we went right to the Jeeps. And we was taking a look at those. But I do love cars, and so I'm like, and I love options. So we saw the Bronco was out there. We went and took a little test ride in that.
Yeah, we did a video on that. it was an eye-opening experience. And there's no hidden gems in this video at all.
The real question is for Sheila, is would this become the new tow vehicle? Would this displace the Jeep as a tow vehicle? Do you see a lot of RVers changing it up? Because you gotta admit, this is pretty dang sexy. We're getting ready to see what it's capable of, but that's the question.
My mind is processing.
She's been processing. Good. Yep.
Thank you. Nice talking to you guys.
Yep.
Compare the Bronco to the Rubicon. Sorry, Rubicon.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you guys have one?
Nope, we're just looking between the two.
All right. I can show you some of the features this baby is loaded with. Give you an idea what trouble you can get into.
It was an interesting experience, but that was where we first kind of got a taste of an idea. But at that time, you couldn't even get a Bronco. Like, they were not even available to public.
No, I think when we actually rode in that one and we at the auto show, it was like a 2 or 3 year wait.
Yeah.
I was like, well, that isn't an option, but we didn't need one then.
Little did we know, after doing all that, that was just simply foreshadowing for where we are sitting right now. And as you can see behind us, we're not gonna, like, we're not, there's no surprise there. You see
I am wearing a Bronco shirt.
Well, that's really like, but you got to understand how we got to this point, what the thought process are. So in driving various Jeeps, because we went and did Moab in a Jeep and we've done some different things, we decided, it was like, okay, well, maybe this might be something we can entertain. So when you start that process, you start looking at different ways to look at how Broncos are set up. And we found this amazing place, and it's in Plant City, where you get a Bronco and they custom make it to however you want. So the ultimate extreme. So we were down and we just went by that Plant City just to kind of see what they can do with Broncos. And then those light bulb moments start showing up.
Well, yeah, because you're used to seeing all the Jeep accessories.
Yeah.
Well, Broncos, the new Broncos are newer to the market, and so we haven't seen a lot of aftermarket parts and aftermarket. But yeah, that started like, woo, there's some good options.
Some fun stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I see lots of Broncos. This must be the place. Holy cow. Ooh, let me out. Park this truck.
So as you know, we're gonna have to do a chase vehicle. We found this place called Bay Shores, and Sheila is warming up to the idea of possibly a little bit better ride and going with a Ford Bronco versus going with the Jeep, which everyone has in the RV space. So they have a plethora of Broncos.
Plethora of Broncos, but there's so many different like model types and different packages. I got some research to do.
So what Bayshore does is you can pick out a base model that you really like, and then what they do is they help you customize it. So of course Sheila wouldn't do anything but straight customization. Here's old school. Like they went new and made it old school. I knew you would like this. I saw this one online, and you went straight to this.
I like the two-tone, like the matte and then the gloss. I like the looks of that.
So the question is, would you buy something already tricked out, or would you buy and then trick it out yourself?
Do it myself.
Oh gosh.
Isn't this my AMG?
Yeah, you can't. That is not RV approved, life approval.
Oh, look at it. Isn't it pretty?
Focus, Sheila, focus.
Just look at it. Just 100 more options to choose from.
the question is are you really seriously thinking about, this is Sheila's choice, Bronco versus Jeep. And for so long, we did a comparison when we were at the show 2 years ago.
Yes.
And it was when Bronco first came out, we got to test in one. And at the time, you were really still leaning towards Jeep.
Yes, I absolutely, I do. I love the Jeep. I love the way it looks. I love the body lines of that. However, now that that was prior to even thinking about the spacecraft.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we never even thought about doing any of that.
Yeah, so that was just going to be something that we were going to figure out, just to use. Now I'm looking at something that I'm going to drive 4 to 5 hours every time we move on a drive day. And I think Broncos probably, I've heard, they're a little bit more comfortable on the inside to drive. After leaving that Plant City area, we were headed over
to Texas.
We had a YouTube conference we were attending there. In Texas, there are a lot of dealerships. And so it was just a prime opportunity for me to start, like, okay, the time is, I need to start hunting this down. We're moving forward. We're gonna have a semi. That's not gonna be how I'm gonna go get groceries. So what is gonna be the better option? It's time to start looking. And decided to take a test drive. I think a longer test drive.
No, wait.
What?
This is, you said, as we were leaving the conference, you're like, it's almost like 9 o'clock at night. And you're like, well, wait, on the way back, I think we can run by this dealership. They might have one.
Well, I like efficiency too, and it was on the way.
Yeah, it's just on the way.
It's on the way.
But behind the scenes also, there was now a strike going on. So they have now stopped making Broncos in general.
The fear of loss.
Oh yeah, it was
just
horrible.
Hit me.
And she, with the Bronco, all of the different options that she wanted specifically, there was only 1 or 2 in the whole area we were in. And just by happenstance, 10 till 9, we roll in to a dealership. It's almost 8 o'clock at night, Dallas, Texas. We just finished a YouTube conference, and Sheila is still on the hunt for a Ford Bronco, which is right now very difficult to find. So.
Okay, well that's normal in my life with my dad. We just drive by a dealership and pull over and take a look at something.
That is true.
That's just normal. Isn't that normal?
For some people.
Long story short here. Long story short.
We don't do anything short.
The Bronco, after test driving it, being at the auto show and then taking it for a test drive, we're planning to chase. That's my plan. I'm going to chase Todd when he's driving the spacecraft. And therefore, it's going to need to be a little bit more comfortable than just being off-road capable. Mm-hmm. And the Bronco still feels like an everyday vehicle and not necessarily just an off-road utilitarian vehicle. So the Bronco was just, it's the best of both worlds. It has off-road capabilities and modern everyday comforts and conveniences. While I was at the dealership, though, you'd think, okay, Todd left me. Like, he just said...
Oh, no, you're going to spill the tea on that.
You did. You just left me.
I hate to buy vehicles. Absolutely hate it.
In all of our years of being married, he has never purchased one of our vehicles. So he just leaves me at the dealership.
This isn't a therapy session either. This is like real.
He just leaves me at the dealership and says, don't come home without a vehicle.
I guess you won't get home without buying it or something. Yeah.
No problem. But while I was at the dealership, they explained to me this Bronco Nation, which was like, oh my gosh, they're all about community, which is what we're about. There's this whole other community for Bronco owners where they do these off-rodeos and different experiences, and this specific community to help make Bronco just
help users understand their vehicles. And they've come up with this really interesting concept. And once you buy a Bronco, you're invited for free to an off-rodeo. Now, you don't use your own Bronco. They supply you a Bronco, and there's like 4 or 5 of them across the United States.
Which is good. I want to scratch mine.
And she was just on fire. She was like coming back, like, did you know that there's these off-rodeos that we could go to? And they're like in Moab, and there's some on the East Coast up like New Hampshire, and we're going to be in those areas anyway.
And then they're going to teach me how to drive and all the elements. Like, I mean, you got all these modes, and they're going to help me learn how to track and how to, like, there's some serious off-roaders. I just want to be like a beginner off-roader, and they're going to help me with that. And there's a whole group of people.
And then there's accessories and stuff. So she was super excited to find out about Bronco Nation. We RV to live adventures. We don't, I mean, the RV is one thing, but quite honestly, you only use the RV to get to the location and to go experience what's here in this spot. So now we just have another thing we can go experience.
Yeah, well, now our Bronco also then takes us to the other experiences, and it's also its own experience. Like,
thanks, Bronco Nation. It's gonna be a fun. Now we have plans, and we've talked to them about bringing and doing, like, we do these crew campouts across the United States. So there is talks about putting together where you don't even need a Bronco. You could come to one of the crew campouts, and we're gonna do a Bronco off-road experience. There's a lot happening, but we can't. We're still in the process of building, and we're still trying to figure out when we can finish everything. And this right here is a lovely Bronco that is not ours, because this one is white, but we are not anywhere close because we're traveling still, trying to get it.
But it is a Switch Crew member who said, "I'll come play." So we're gonna go play. Oh, they have ladies' days, girls. They have ladies' days.
Okay.
All right.
In 2024, we are looking forward to meeting Bronco owners all over the world. They have like this nationwide and also worldwide network, which will be a lot of fun for all of us to experience. It's interesting to see this dynamic that played out that we didn't even plan on, and a new relationship is formed. And I think it's gonna be a lot of fun for all of us to go and do some different things this year.
Kind of like in our crew campouts.
It aligns with us.
It does, because they even go do rides and trail rides and stuff in different areas. So much to go explore. I am really looking forward to that. And right now, honestly, in the stress of the build and all things that are going on.
That's the only normal thing we've got going.
It's nice to have this, like, something to look forward to moment. So I appreciate that.
Because right now we don't even know if the RV is going to make it to the Tampa show, which is scary in itself. Okay.
Thanks for Bronco Nation for just a little glimmer of hope for back to adventure someday.
So that's why you're seeing a Bronco. That's why you kind of saw glimpses of it in the other videos, and why we even got to that point. The whole idea of her chasing, people are going to say, well, you know, you don't want to ride in the truck and stuff. It'd be the idea of this is we've never towed anything this big. I've never really drove anything like this big, and so going through like Atlanta traffic or whatever, and we're 54 feet long, I was just thinking, okay, this might be just a season where she can be behind and block while I move over, and she could run ahead, and we can meet, and she could get food, and we can meet in a rest stop. All of those things, and we only drive 4 or 5 hours a day anyway.
Well, I think it'll make it easy. Like, okay, well, let's park at this truck stop, go in and scout out the RV park that we're going to, making sure how are you going to come in, like we need to take a little bit more caution now with something of this size.
Actually, yeah, and that's going to be, so it's a little bit of peace of mind on our end. So this is just a short season of trying to do something new. And I mean, we're together 24/7. So when we only drive 4 or 5 hours, it's okay to have a little time apart. So
it's sanity. That's what 5 hours is.
Oh, come on now.
I love you dearly. Okay, last time I came to check on this and what was going on here. Everything was on the truck. The motorcycle was on the truck and all the things were being built. Everything's off the truck now.
Time for a current update. Okay. With Jesse and the Mack truck. He has been hard at work. He's been working a lot of late nights. And he's been sending videos of him trying to paint, and then things didn't work out and stuff. And all of us come together. And while I was having to do something in Kansas City, Sheila went to go meet one of our daughters down in Florida for an event.
So I thought I would just swing by and check in on Jesse, see what was going on. And that's when we got some very interesting news.
Yeah, this is now December 15th. So if you're keeping track, Tampa's just a few short weeks away. So this one, all of those talks that we had in the past kind of might have come back to bite us in the rear a little bit. So this phone call came, and I was with a buddy leaving spacecraft, and I'm like, oh no.
Hi, bud. How you doing? Okay, so I called, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, told my guy, I told him, I said, listen, I said, go ahead and get drive shaft. I don't care what it costs. The tubing. So he tried to order it, and they said, no, it's on back order until the middle of March. So we tried buying a brand new one from Mack, and Mack said they're on back order until middle of March, end of March also. So it looks like everybody's trying to get parts from the same supplier.
Well, isn't that special?
I thought it was special that they had built a truck and then not build no parts for them. That was pretty special, wasn't it?
So, can you not, there's no way to, there's no other suppliers that carry any of this?
There is no supplier that's carrying this size tube.
It seems weird that you have the whole United States and you wouldn't be able to find a part.
Well, it's not just, okay, so like your front drive shaft could be converted into a rear drive shaft and it would be long enough, okay? Your front drive shaft, if we had another one of those, we could cut the end off, put the slip and spline on it, and then it would be long enough. I mean, it is perfect. You can't lose an inch when you do it. You gotta have all of it.
Can you manufacture one?
I will make something happen. I'm not gonna let a drive shaft stop us from going to a show.
Where does this all leave us? That is the question. And we honestly, at this point, don't know.
You know, the whole adventure has been ups and downs and uncertainty, and you know, Jesse's like, I think I can get the drive shaft, but I don't think it's gonna be in. I might be able to get something so I can get it to the show. There's so many things happening all at once. And right now, we have to go back to spacecraft. And for this next 5 days, things are gonna get real quick. It's a disaster, honestly, behind the scenes of people running around, making sure we have everything. And I honestly don't know. Tensions are probably running the highest they've ever run.
I have severe doubts that we're going to even it might show up down there, but you'll just walk by the outside because I don't even know at this point what's going to be done on the inside. I mean,
the team is working so stinking hard.
They are. We're just behind.
We are. And that there's no more, you can't even like try to get more time, because there's a hard time when the RV has to leave to make it to the show, because they have to park it in the show at a specific time.
Yep.
So
their entry window is
tiny.
So, and therefore we're out of options.
So I guess you'll have to tune in, because the next couple episodes are going to be crazy. Like we're going there next, and I have a feeling we're gonna have to answer a lot of questions, and we have our fingers crossed that we'll be there at 70 or 80%, hopefully. Right? That's the hope.
Oh, that's a hope.
Keep hope alive, Sheila. Keep some hope alive. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, it's such a weird thing to be shooting video without knowing what's going to happen next. So we'll see.